Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today because it's May 1st as I'm preparing for May 1st to film this. It's a couple days beforehand, but this is the May 1st Patreon Journal Together kit that I release the first of the month. Each month I release an eclectic ephemera kind of kit for making journals, and it's all levels of my Patreon and I just call it the Studioloo Journal Together kit. So this month we have a lot of fun things. So first of all, here are two of, I believe, four Victorian calling cards that I got when I was on vacation in Maryland. This one has doves, this one has a dog. This is like a belly band sort of sized image, or even a washi tape if you wanted to. And it's just some linear leaves that I sketched and watercolored. And then these are scans from a Purity Flower old cookbook that I have that has handwritten recipes in it. This one's in pencil here, but then she switched to this darker, like, you know, black pen, and I like that it says coconut cake, and coconut has an A in it, and then down here it says no good. And then here we have mincemeat from Mrs. Wiseacre and peanut butter bread. And the second page has two more of those Victorian calling cards. So we have friendship's tie and a little handhold there. And this one has a horse. And another of the belly band type images, a little bit like space kind of themed, you know, those colors. And then a couple of vintage botanical journal cards. Then these images, you know, all of them can be used. I try to keep things very flexible. So I feel like they're all a good size for a tuck spot, pocket, or journal card, a tag, whatever you want to make. So this one could be a journal card or a tag. We've been doing a lot of studying sort of spring things, and we just finished an Australia unit in this house, so I'm always inspired by whatever's going on in my life. So I have this wallaby here in the wildflowers, and here we have, we're just about to go see the salmon spawning, so I wanted to make kind of a magical like fish. We've been talking a lot about like salmon spawning and migratory birds and all the things happening around now. And then a couple of nice blue florals, and this is one little preview to a kit that I will be releasing shortly. I won't tell you a lot about it, I just want to get the kit out and then I'll show it to you, but that little swatchy bit. Here we have a little wetland with some lilies and little lily pads and blobs and things in this little lake, and then this kind of mystical kitty cat with more of the botanical. I'm running with a lot of botanical right now. I'm just feeling very much like, oh, the flowers are back. And then these little dressed up owls here, and these are some hops because we were talking about we're going to grow hops again this year in the garden. And then these little images, they have a very faint square around them, so you could either kind of fussy cut them for little freeform style pockets, or you could leave this bit of white down here and they could be like flips. You could use them as a pocket on top of another image, like a pocket tag or a pocket journal card, or just as little pockets. And then we have this very painterly fun octopus, and then sort of in the same, I try to put the same color themes together. So this was a project I was doing for a very kind of mysterious, ethereal feeling story. This woman is in this very blue room, and it's like the contrast of her bright red hair. And then this is a little smiley sunflower and some more of those botanicals, the orchids. And then to go with the sunflower, we have the little smiley scarecrow too. And then this is one of my rust dyed pieces of fabric that I've scanned. This is the back of an old cabinet card. I just thought it was really beautiful. It's like a mid 1800s beautiful image. And then this is a little mysterious deer-like family, and there's going to be a few more images here of them. Here we go. the deer family. So we have like an old cabinet card style image, but there are deer incorporated into each image. Then we have another of my little swatches here. Again, I'll tell you more about those when the kit comes out shortly. This little bear peeking up through the dark woods, and then some lupins there. This is the first of a few 1850s paper dolls that were completely handmade by a woman who did a scrapbook in the like 1850s, and I very carefully teased them away from the paper and got them out with tweezers. It's been something I've been working on for weeks. So I wanted to include some of them. So he's the first of them. Then we have these little sort of fall blobby trees. I just had fun with those. A scan of a statement from 1935, and then a little floral teacup. And then here we have this little cat and florals. I just put a border around it if you wanted to be able to sort of straight cut it into like a booklet or something. You could also fussy cut all of them, you know, layer them up to make like an interesting pocket or a layered pocket. Then these, it's a little hard to see, but I do have like a faint color difference on the background of this floral. There are actually, I think, 4 of these tags with these watercolor florals on them. And then here's a full page of the paper dolls that I was telling you about. So these are so charming. They're entirely hand colored and handmade. I think she did cut aspects out from magazines and books, but then she would hand color or paint over them, and they're laid down on top of newspaper, or they're made from newspaper. So I think the images that she was taking could be from like images in old 1800s newspapers, or what is that, you know, fashion magazine called, like the, not the Eliminator, but something like that. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It was an 1800s, you know, women's fashion magazine called something like the Deliminator. I can never remember the name. But she would hand color all of these. So this one you can see very faintly that this dress is actually made from ledger paper. And they're all assembled, and on the back you can see that it's newspaper, and she'd actually write like the name on the back. Like this one had the name Lillian written on the back. So then this is the other 3 of those botanical watercolor tags. So hopefully you can see it's a slightly lighter, like a light gray to the white paper. This has yet another preview of another kit that will be coming soon, as will the next page. So this is the top of a collection of French-Canadian music that I have from 1905, and they're all colorized, beautifully illustrated pages with music underneath these amazing headers. So this is one of them. This is another of the paper dolls. And then this is like a little invoice, or an account rendered invoice from Ridgetown, Ontario in 1935. And this is a full page of that beautiful French-Canadian music. This one's my favorite one, I think, with the butterfly and the bluebells and things. It's really pretty. And then this is a take on the Among the Wildflowers, but put through like a linear perspective, and sort of like I used some Procreate to play with these, and they're a little more abstract than the original scans of the images. Those images are in the public domain, so you're allowed to, you know, use them as is or to manipulate them like I've done here. So those are full pages. And then this one is just some more botanicals that are watercolored. So that is the full kit for the Journal Together kit this month. And I'm thinking I may actually make a teal version of this. I just think that would be really pretty, so I'll include that as well. So as I mentioned, these kits are for my Patreon only. All levels of my Patreon, and they come out on the 1st of each month. I don't release them in my Etsy shop. I don't think I will at this point. I think I just want to keep it as a Patreon thing. So my plans for this kit, and I've done this before, is when I make a commonplace journal, I want to use this kit in a commonplace book. So you have a couple options. You know, you can obviously cut out and use the ephemera in different journals and different themes and things like that, or you can use them in a commonplace book. So this is some of the ephemera or the pages I'm working on for this book. Sorry, I spent like all day outside yesterday in the cold. I'm a little bit gravelly today. Anyways, so I've been making this kind of freeform, you know, quilted assemblage of things to make a cover. And this is one of my fabric, like long kind of covers where I put two different spines in it. So I have like a wrap-up book that has like kind of two journals in it. So I've got a 1.5 and a 2-inch spine, and they are here. So the 1.5 will be here. This will be the first book. I'll probably do 2 to 3 signatures. The second 2-inch spine is here, so this will then fold like this. And the other journal will be here, but then we'll have reserved this long flap that can wrap around, so if the journal wants to grow, it's got a lot of room to do so. So I'll tell you a little about this. So the fabric that I've used on here, it's upside down, sorry. So this is some paper crane. This was from a cotton children's shirt. These are shashi mirrors from a sari. This is some old tapestry kind of fabric. And then I've done some embroidery floss stitching on my sewing machine with this method that does these long runs. So you see this long run here? That's done intentionally. You stitch to a certain point and then you pick it up and you move and you stitch again, and it just creates these fun, you know, strands of like stringy bindings kind of. And then this is from a vintage dress, these black and teal flowers. Then we have a doily here. Some of my rust dyed eco-printed fabric, and then the back, this actually, I know it's the simpler of the two sides, but I did so much work on this. This has all been hand dyed. This fabric turned out so different than when it started because I wanted to use the fabric, but I really disliked the color, so that's how it started, and that's what the back looked like. I did a bunch of dyeing using dye and oxide and coffee, and yeah, I really like how it came out. Lots of fun. So that is a project I'll be working on kind of in the background of everything else that I'm doing. So I just wanted to kind of preview this kit for you and give you a bit of an idea of where I'm going to be taking it. So I'll be working on this journal over the next weeks or so, and that's it for now. So thanks for hanging out with me so I could show you the Journal Together kit for May, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!